I have another "Am I the asshole?" post. So,
Yeah.
same thing from last time. I kept trying to find something that was like not that like I cheated on my boyfriend and had a baby and made him raise it. Am I the asshole? You know, like that kind of post. It's just, so
Right.
um
Those are easy ones.
yeah. So here's
Yeah,
this.
I like these ones. Like the what you're saying is the ones that aren't like obvious because they're like it's actual question. Like it actually gets into a little bit of an ethical question.
Yeah. So here's this one. I'm gonna do a voice because this is how I picture that this guy sounds when I was reading through it earlier. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to respect my title, a pilot? I need the opinions of av geeks and pilots on a matter involving my wife. I am completely serious and I need help. My wife and I, together for 5 years, married for two, no kids, have an amazing, happy relationship. I can't recall a single time we've ever argued to the point of a breakup or divorce. This issue, however, is causing me to reconsider the health of our relationship. Since my wife and I have been together, I have worked as a manager for a restaurant chain. I am extremely I am an extremely passionate aviation enthusiast in my free time. I have spent thousands of dollars on flight textbooks, sim gear, and even built my own A330 setup. I have never actually flown a plane or started flight training. I can't do that anymore. But but I have considered it for a long time. Even though my skills are not a career, I still consider myself as adept or possibly more knowledgeable than the average pilot. That being said, here's where my problem arises. My wife and I were invited to one of her male coworkers' house for a barbecue. My wife is a senior software tech for a COVID startup. She's worked there since 2020, a lucky catch after she was laid off from her previous job due to the virus. It was my first time meeting many of her now close coworkers due to COVID, working from home. I had assumed she'd talked about me before, but as we were cycling through introductions, I became less sure. We make our way down the line to the host of the party, a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with. We exchange casual conversation with Greg, the host, asks what I do for a living. My wife chimes in. He manages a insert fast food chain here. It certainly comes with some benefits. I'm assuming she's referring to free food, in a voice that implied nothing was wrong with what she said. I very quickly corrected her and told her that I am a pilot. My my wife already knows how insecure I am about my job and how I'd much rather be introduced by my hobby. I've earned the title of pilot through my 500 plus hours on and sim and thousands of dollars put into my craft. I think it is incredibly disrespectful for her not to acknowledge my skills and training. Just because I don't have the title of a pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot. I laughed it off with Greg, told him under my breath that my wife was often forgetful, which I'm sure he realized just from working with her. He seemed to brush it off casually. At this point, I'm fuming, but I don't go much farther than exchanging some nasty glances at my wife for the rest of the night. As we pack into the car to leave, the argument starts. She feels as if I don't deserve my title as a pilot because I'm not a professional. I told her she is completely insensitive to the work I've done, and she will never understand what it's like to study so much. She is currently on the couch as I type this. Am I really the asshole for asking to be respected?
Chef's kiss. This is the best "Am I the asshole?" post I've ever seen on so many levels. Wow.
Yeah.
So many thoughts, man. Okay, so
You sound
let's
like
break
more
it
of a
down
pilot than
here.
he does.
Well, I think it's funny that I mean, okay, like speaking practically here, like if you put that much time into something,
Mhm.
why not do it like why not just get that overpriced piece of paper and be a pilot? Like I I don't know. Yes. you're the asshole. I don't know what his name is, but I don't know. But what do you think? Maybe you have a different opinion.
Oh, I know exactly. He is the asshole. Like, I feel like this is
I
like
mean,
in
okay,
this. I feel like this is in the same
sorry.
vein as someone who's trying to be like into like esports, but they suck at it, right? And they're putting like all their time and money into it, but they just suck at it, and their family hates them for it. But he still wants to be pronounced as such. So I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. But calling yourself a pilot and
I've
not even
had
fun of playing, jeez.
well, and it's also like, and maybe I don't understand, so correct me if I'm wrong, uh, you or comment section or whatever. But it's like people who have their PhD but still insist on being called Doctor who's he what's, you know. It's like, yes, you have your doctorate, but I think by going by doctor, I think the only ones that should go by doctor are actual doctors because you know, you confuse everyone else. And
Yeah.
there's, I mean, I don't know if this has ever happened, but you always hear about like, well, is there a doctor? Is there a doctor? You know, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor of philosophy, you know, that type of thing. Like, and this is the same thing. Like this idiot, he's going to get in a plane and they're going to be like, is there a pilot on board? We need a backup pilot. And he'll be like, me, I can
Yeah.
fly the plane.
Yeah. He fantasizes about that all day. Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, it's the funniest. Like you said, it's like the esports guy that likes to play, I don't know, Fortnite or whatever,
Hmm.
but he's not good enough to do it, but he still really is determined to do it. And, you know, good for him for never giving up on his dreams. But I mean, at least the Fortnite guy's playing Fortnite. Like this guy, he's just, you know, he built his own custom A300, 330 setup, but for what? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to know like how their relationship is going after that because I feel like there's a lot of things you could forgive, but
Hmm.
that fight, like 100% is just him being an asshole.
Yeah. Like if you're like so embarrassed about your job, right? I mean, we just talked about this, right? Like it's hard to get, it's hard to find like decent jobs, but if you're like that embarrassed about it, why? Like surely you would expect someone to talk about it. Like why not at least tell her ahead of time? Like yeah, tell them I'm a pilot or whatever. But even though
Well,
you've never
pilot.
flown a plane,
Um, well, and I wish I was as passionate about anything as he was about planes. Well, again, why not go be a pilot? Like you're
mm-hmm.
embarrassed of your job. You work in a fast food chain. Say it's McDonald's. I'm a manager at McDonald's, you know, and his wife is always like, "Well, it has its perks." Free
Yeah,
McDonald's. Um, but yeah, that's it also seems like there's some sour grapes there with Greg, the coworker. It seems like the guy thinks there's something going on. Like it's a platonic friendship,
yeah,
but I don't think he actually believes that.
yeah. He's just soyed about not being called a proper pilot. So
Call me, but do you even call pilots pilot? Is it like Pilot Johnson? There's not a
uh,
pilot title, is there? Like I know in the army it would be like Lieutenant Johnson or whatever, you know, but like for just like an airline pilot, there's not actually a title, is there? Is there?
I, I think so. Actually, I have a friend who's just graduated from flight school, and he can like fly people commercially
I guess
now.
captain.
Uh,
I guess captain.
Captain Jack.
Captain Jack. But even that I feel like is like not normal. Like you'd call him Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a I would really like to know how their relationship is going. Is there we should maybe I'll check for a follow up.
Okay. Yeah.